Bulavanaka, welcome to Drua Talk with Clarkie. 12 weeks down and just another 4 to go in the Shop and Save Super Rugby Pacific regular season. Well, there was a real sense of relief on the faces of the swire-shipping Fijian Drua players and coaches in Suva last Saturday when they came from behind to pull off that last-minute converted try that sealed yet another win over the Queensland Reds in Suva. Next up is the Blues in Suva Friday night under lights. Unfortunately, Fijiana couldn't match the Australian Wallaroos in their historic first ever test on Fiji soil, but it's early days in the build-up to the Women's World Cup in England starting in August. This week on the show, we chat to Drua head coach Glen Jackson, and former Flying Fijian Nemani Kuridrani pops into Clarkie's corner. Yes, he is no longer Nadolo, and more on the name change later. But just to set the scene, here are the highlights from the Drua's win over the Reds.
Massimo DeLutis, a late call up in 18. Josh Canham, Luke Garnselago, Lod starting team. It's been a frustrating year for him in and out of the team. Whistle goes and it is the Reds getting us underway. Karolevu, safe take of the kickoff on the 22. Out the back, Armstrong with Buller, Tongi and Tama. Level, now Rakuro for the corner and he is over! Try time, Fijian Drua, Taniela Rakuro, they put it through the hands and they come up with the first 5 points of the day. Asiata again. Good defence from Silasila. Lachlan Phillips, short ball and Uru, beautiful ball! And away they go, the Queensland Reds, the cover comes, can he get it down? Yes he can, try time. Queensland Reds, they've hit back immediately. Balling awkwardly right on halfway. Wide ball, Wonga, stepping, got away from 1, 2! Antonio Wonga pins the ears back. Oh, he should have backed himself, he seemed to sort of just slow up a little bit, but Kuravoli is there. He gets it out now and it's over. Yes, it's Masaki Donge who has got his second try in Super Rugby Pacific. From ball roll, Celestino, Levu got away from 1 and lost his footing. Pulled away. Rakuro is going to have to take the tackle. Kuravoli, short side they go, nothing happening, but Wonga says, okay, well, I'll make something happen. Try time, Fijian Drua. This man is something special. Asiata goes long and finds Smith. And they've got a bit of forward momentum. It stops now. They go again through Richie Asiata. Bit of a gap opened up. And they charge towards the line, claiming the try. Try it is! And another 5-pointer for Richie Asiata.
Yeah, 13. I agree. Offside 13.
Getting the pass away. And they're lining up out wide, and Uru is just going to put it down ever so simply. No one around him, and the Fijian-born Seru Uru scores another one against the Drua. So as the referee, we're underway in the second half. Just 4 points in it. Reds leading. And this one will go into touch. And it came off one of the Reds players. Kuravoli. Puai ducked under 1. Good carry from the youngster. Vanivani reaches out, slams it down, and it's a try to the Fijian Drua. Philip Basalala. Good two-handed take. Down it goes. Elia Salakaivata can't find a way through. Head down from the Calavati. Basalala in 22. Volley. Pick and go. 2-1 is over! So they can rumble for as long as they like. Thomas throws the dummy.
Get back!
Tumunga Allen is over. Jeffrey Tumunga Allen, after all that, he finds a way through, dots it down, and the Reds. Craig finds Smith. They set it up. They set it up nicely. Edging towards the chalk, edging towards regaining the lead, and yes, they are over! And it is a magical moment. Akanavani, 4 out. Uru steals it, but then it goes loose, and it's been picked up by the Drua. They're over! They've scored the winner. The Fijian Drua have scored. It was mayhem in the end. Drop goal attempt from Armstrong Ravula, and he's got it.
What a finish for the Fijian Drua. Just Bitsu, how good was he when he came on to be able to score that try?
What a win for the Drua, their first victory in Suva this year. They're still at the bottom of the table, but that win should give them plenty of confidence for the remaining matches. The Reds are now none from 3 in the capital, and they had their chance to win it, but they blew it. Now let's check out all the scores from week 12, and the Blues kept their hopes alive with a 40-19 win over the Force in Auckland. The Drua by 3 over the Reds in Suva. Hurricanes down the top of the table Chiefs 35-17 in Wellington. The Brumbies were too good for the Waratahs, winning 40-17 in Canberra, so the Tars are still winless on the road, and Moana Pacifica rolled the Highlanders in Dunedin by 34-29. The Crusaders had a bye. And this is how the ladder looks, with 4 weeks to go to the playoffs. And remember, the top 6 advance to this year's playoffs. It's the Chiefs still on top, just ahead of the Crusaders on points for and against. They're on 37, with the Brumbies third on 34. The Reds picked up a bonus point in Suva to stay in fourth on 28. The Hurricanes are on 26, and Moana rounds out the top 6 on 24. The Blues, Force and Waratahs are still close enough, if good enough, while the Highlanders and Drua need to win their remaining games and hope other results go their way. So they are praying for a miracle. In the Player of the Year voting, there's just no stopping Moana's Adi Savia. He's on top with 36, 9 in front of Carlo Tesano of the Force on 27. Highlanders' Timothy Tavatavanawai is on 26, Brumbies' Tom Hooper 25, Waratahs' Langy Gleeson 23, Chiefs' Damien McKenzie 22, Blues' Bowden Barrett and Hurricanes' Cam Roygard are on 21, and Elia Thanakaivata and Antonio Wonga are the leading Drua players on 17. You're watching Drua Talk with Clarkie, and it was great to see 3 Drua players picked in the fantasy team of the week: Antonio Wonga, Masaki Vadevade and Simeone Kuravoli. Well, now I'm being joined by a happier Drua coach, Glen Jackson. Well, Glen, the fans got what they were hoping for in Suva last Saturday. Another win over a good Queensland Reds team. It was great to see the boys go the full 80, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was, Clarkie. I think obviously the Reds brought a quality team out here, which was good to see. They knew how important this game was, and then for our confidence of our young men to be able to put a performance. And then, you know, we've talked about it with you on the show so many times, how we've lost those ones in the last minute. To come back and win it at the end was awesome for, I think, what we're trying to do as a team, how the boys have stuck close together, and then just appreciate playing at home in front of the crowd and getting that win.
The players, the coaching staff and management have all been under pressure of late, so that win over another top 4 team must give you a lot of confidence going into the final few games of the regular season.
Yeah, it does, and my hand on my heart, I believe we're doing the right thing here at this club, and we're breeding and blooding some great young men, and they're starting to put their hand up. So, you know, it's obviously disappointing, like you said, at times that we haven't got the results that we wanted. We could easily be sitting in the top 6, but we're not, and we you know, those 3 or 4 games that slipped by makes a big difference in this competition. But you know, moving forward for the next 3 weeks especially, there should be a lot of confidence, but also not only for this year, but moving forward, you know, the longer this young team stays together, I know they're going to be a quality outfit in many years to come.
Glenn, good to get a win in Suva as well, wasn't it? 3rd time lucky this year.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, last year we got through quite nicely into the quarterfinal because all our games pretty much were in Lautoka, and I think sort of makes a difference. Obviously, we still have to travel and we still fly and we still stay in a night's accommodation, so it's great to get up in Suva, but it also is, especially, for us being based down in Nandi, it's still it doesn't always feel 100% like a home game. I know the crowd's been amazing and the stadium's amazing, so we just got to make sure this week we try and get back-to-back victories there.
You came up with some new combinations last week and it pretty much went to plan. So what have you done with your selections this week?
Yeah, well, we tried probably to have the most settled team that we've had, I think, in terms of least changes, but then we've unfortunately had a few injuries during the week. So Ratu Leone, well, we'd had named the same forward pack, but Ratu Leone is unfortunately out, and then we lost Ito on Tuesday, his sternum. He got a sternum injury during the game that just didn't recover, and on a 6-day turnaround with a sore sternum, it's a shame to lose someone like him, how well he's been playing, but Joe Tamani steps up to the 6th role, and so then we're still happy with the bench, and Mira will come in for a replacement. Backline, I thought they were very good last week. We've just gone for Steno at fullback, just to go for a bit extra height and speed at the back. Izzy's been amazing, not only as 10 or all 15, but the young man's played a heck of a lot of minutes, so he'll come off the bench, and just making sure we balance things right with him, because you don't want to overwork these young guys, even though he's been great for us. So he'll come off the bench, and I'm sure he'll bring a spark as well.
It's a short turnaround for the Drua this week, only 6 days. Have you prepared any differently for a Kiwi team like the Blues?
Look, we everyone knows what the Blues bring. They've got a great set piece. They'll pressurise you into penalties, and then they'll get into the 22 and they go to work, and they're the most successful team around that. Last year, that's how they won the comp. I think this year teams are defending them better than they did last year, so I think it's important that we understand our defensive patterns, especially with their one-off runners and their big ball carriers, that we have to look after them. But we still want to play Drua style, even though it's under the lights. We know we have to get another good 36, 37 minutes ball in play, and that's what happened in the Reds. And I think in terms of our fitness, it's been awesome this year. So we just want to make sure we keep that ball on the field and try and stay away from the set piece battle.
Yeah, staying with the Blues, like the Drua, they have to keep winning if they are to sneak into the top 6. Were you impressed with their win over the Force last week?
Yeah, I mean, they sort of went back to what their DNA is. I mean, just big ball runners. They ran over top of the Force. I think the Force have had a pretty tough run on the road. So, they had Chiefs and Blues. So, I think the Blues caught them at the right time. But we know how passionate Mr. Vern Cotter will be turning up here with a team that is desperate to keep winning. They still have a good chance of making the top 6. So, even though we'll welcome Mr. VC, but we'd like to ruin his party as well in terms of what we're trying to do, and we want to keep winning as well. You
know the Blues coach Vern Cotter very well. He's a former Flying Fijians coach. Have you got a surprise or two for him?
No, we'll welcome him. Like you said, he's a former Flying Fijian coach, a good friend of mine, coached me for a long time. So we'll certainly welcome him here and look forward to having a beer afterwards. Hopefully I can shake his hand, and the Drua have come out with a good win. How do the boys feel about playing under lights? Yeah, it's different. We only done it once, I think last year with the Hurricanes, I believe, and so it's terms of it's something different for us, playing prime time Friday night. I'd expect the boys to get up for it. I know the Suva crowd should be a good one. Everyone after work, I think they enjoy a Friday afternoon game. You go from work to the game, and hopefully we get a good crowd there, and everyone piles in and enjoys what two good teams will bring on the field. And our boys are excited to get back on there and show everyone, and including themselves, how much they've learned and how good they hopefully going to be. Well, the fans that turned up last week made a lot of noise, but you need more support against the Blues this week, so hopefully it'll be a bumper crowd. And Jacko, thanks for your time, mate. All the best in Suva. Let's hope the Drua can go back-to-back in the capital. Manaka. Awesome. Thanks, Clarkie. Manaka, mate. If you're in the Suva region, get out and support your Drua on Friday night under lights. They take on defending champs the Blues in what should be another cracker of a match. Can the Drua make it back-to-back wins in the capital? Kick-off is at 7 p.m. Okay, it's another big weekend of Super Rugby Pacific. It kicks off Friday night here in Fiji when the Fijian Drua host the defending champs, the Blues from Auckland. Kick-off 7 p.m. That's followed by the Waratahs and Reds in their grudge match in Sydney. On Saturday, it's the top-of-the-table clash between the Crusaders and the Chiefs in Christchurch. What a blockbuster that is.
And in another all-Aussie affair, the Force play the Brumbies in Perth. Just 4 games this week as Moana, Highlanders and Hurricanes have a bye. On Drua Talk, it's time to head to Clarkie's Corner. And joining us is a flying Fijian legend with a new name. On Drua Talk, it's time to see who's in Clarkie's Corner. Clarkie's Corner this week is a Fijian rugby legend, Nemani Kuridrani. We'll come back to the name in a moment because you've changed it. But first of all, I just want to say, mate, how are you enjoying being part of our commentary team and you're travelling to and from the Fiji Islands? You must be thrilled about that.
First of all, it's a privilege to be able to be involved with the rugby here on the island and to be given the opportunity to commentate. Something I've always wanted to do and had a keen interest in, and watching the likes of, or hearing the likes of you and Gordon Bray and a lot of these legends that have called the game in the past, it's always inspired me. So to be part of the commentary, particularly the Drua, it's been one hell of a ride, and I've really enjoyed every minute of it. And like I said, I'm not playing anymore, so it's my way of giving back to rugby here on the island, and I hope I'm doing a good job.
Speaking about playing, wow, Super Rugby with Crusaders and Waratahs. You've played not only for the Flying Fijians around the world, but you've played club rugby in Japan, in France, in England. When you were at Nudgee College, that great breeding ground for rugby players in Brisbane, playing first 15, did you ever dream that, hey, one day I'd do all of this?
To be honest, Clark, rugby wasn't really, I struggled to make the first 15 that year. I think I was 16Bs the year before. So when I finished high school, I actually went and played club Colts 3, and then sort of 3rd grade. So I was sort of floating around, but if you had told me that I was going to go on and have a career that I had, I would have told you you're laughing. But look, the way rugby's turned out for me turned out really well, and I'm a big believer in, if the door closes, another door will open. And thankfully, I've just been that sort of person where, I've sort of, I hate taking no for an answer, and I've knocked on every door, in my time as a rugby player. So I've thoroughly enjoyed playing in Europe and in Asia and here in the Oceania, and obviously, the pinnacle of representing my country, Fiji, and getting to play the World Cup. So, to see how rugby's progressed here in Fiji, it's it's great to see, and to say that I have played a part in that journey, particularly at the international level. It's really rewarding.
Now, for as long as I've been calling you and now calling with you, you've been Nemani Nadolo. Now you are Nemani Kuridrani, and it's been an emotional time for you in Fiji because you've taken the name of your father.
Yeah, so growing up, I was also a Kuridrani, and I hail from Namatakula village on the Coral Coast. And when I was a bit younger, my mum and dad, they split up, and I took the name of my mother as Nadolo. But always going through growing up, going through my career, I've always had that, that I've always Kuridrani, and people in Fiji know that the name holds really significant, power, But for me to go back, it's been an emotional sort of few days. I got the opportunity to go back to my village in Namatakula. Not many people know it's been 15 years since I've set foot on in that village, and I did a boka ceremony, which you go back and ask forgiveness and seek acceptance, back into the family. And I got to see my aunties and uncles and nieces and nephews running around that I haven't seen in over a decade. So that was an emotional sort of day, and I'm glad I've done it, and I've got a little wee one now. So, but for me, it's what's really important for me is tradition and customs and following our ways. So to be given the opportunity to go back and do that was a very, like I said, a very emotional day. A lot of tears were wept, and I'm just glad now that that's behind me, and that chapter of my life is at peace, and I can move on. And Kuridrani holds a strong name as well in the rugby world. I had my cousin Tavita, who represented the Wallabies, my younger brother Chris Kuridrani, who again played Aussie Sevens and whatnot. I just so to be taken Kuridrani, it's the right thing to do, and people in Fiji will know and understand that. And yeah, I've just been thankful that people, my family have been really supportive, because it is a big thing, and it's been on my mind for so many years, Clarkie. So to see Kuridrani up on the, Kuridrani at the end of my name up on the on TV today was, it gets more sort of heartwarming, and yeah, it's a new chapter in my life, and I'm really, really excited, to see what the future holds.
Okay, well, you're going to be back at Suva Friday night, and it's the Fijian Drua taking on the Blues. So, wow, we're going to be calling that. And if the Drua are anything like they were last week, well, they might be able to get on a roll now.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think now they've got 3 home games, so it's really important for them to just, I think, set aside where they are on the ladder. I think play for pride. I think there's a lot of people here that still are supporting, and we saw it today, last week in the crowd. So my advice to Drew is just enjoy these next 3 home games, build some pride, put some pride back in the jersey, and I'm sure that'll give us our blood pressures will be high next game, and but it'll be good, exciting, and good to see the Drua get back to winning ways.
Okay, well, it has been a pleasure to hear the story behind the name change. So, ladies and gentlemen, from now on, it's Nemani Kuridrani. Nemani Kuridrani. It's going to take some time to get used to the new name. Nemani was in the commentary box with me last Saturday in Suva when the Fijiana 15s took on the Australian Wallaroos, who were playing a test on Fiji soil for the very first time. Fijiana got off to a good start, scoring the first try, but then it was one-way traffic with the Wallaroos running in the next 7 tries. Here are some highlights.
The pocket. It's the Wallaroos. Men's went backwards.
Yeah, back here. Yeah.
They take the tap quickly, trying to catch some napping, and getting it down there is Lane Morgan. Oh, she's sharp. Caught them napping. Try time. First try of the second half. Mathafua is out there in jersey number 17. Tia Hines is on there as well in 21, so another debutant from the Aussie Sevens pathway. And here's the rumble from the women in gold.
Advantage 21 on the side.
Advantage is being played, and they're over. Another try to the Wallaroos, and it's Tanya Naden from the Brumbies. Replacement hooker.
Yeah, well worked try from the Wallaroos. I know you must be very disappointed with the result, but how was it out there captaining your first ever time and being the youngest captain ever?
It was a good game, and I was grateful for the girls, the effort they put inside there. It was wonderful, and I really want to thank them for staying tight in the field till the last whistle. So I'm very grateful for the girls.
And your fans are still out there, plenty of noise. That when the DJ was playing, they were all dancing and cheering for your team. How does it make you feel playing in front of your loyal fans and family and friends?
It was nice. Thank you for all the fans that came out in numbers today. And I want to thank our sponsor, Vodafone. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be performing here today. And I'm really thankful for them. Thank you.
Vinaka, all the best with all the upcoming games. Cheers.
The weather definitely played in our favour. It was an even game, but we talk about growth and super proud of our girls going out there. Few debutants, opportunities out there, but we've got to give credit to Fiji. They're a physical team, and in that second half you could see.
It's been a great week for your whole team. I think you got out to the villages, to the schools. You represented the country, well out there. How was it for the girls going out to all the villages and seeing the smile on all the kids' faces?
We talk about how rugby's more than what happens on the field. It's how we want to inspire the next generation to connect with the community. We know how much Fiji love rugby. We just want to give back to them.
Outstanding work. All the best in your upcoming test matches. Congrats.
So the Wallaroos start their season with a win, and it's back to the drawing board for Fijiana before they play Tonga and Samoa in the Oceania Championship in June. That's in Fiji. And the USA in July. And a shout out to the prop Ana Koravata, who has decided to retire to concentrate on her nursing career in Australia. Ana will be missed at the Drua and also Fijiana, and I wish her all the best. Meanwhile, it was a disappointing end to the season for the Fiji Sevens. The women finished 5th and the men had to settle for 8th in the World Championship event in LA last weekend. Both teams have plenty of work to do before the next World Series starts. And congratulations to Fiji's Chochi Nasova, who was named in the World Series Dream Team after a standout season where he finished as a top point scorer and he was equal top try scorer with 26. Hopefully we'll get to see Chochi Nasova in Super Rugby Pacific one day. Well, that's it for another week on Drua Talk. Thanks for your company. I hope to see a big crowd in Suva Friday night when the Drua take on the Blues. It is the final game in Suva for 2025. I'm Greg Clark, and I'll leave you with a look at the Drua team to take on the defending champions, the Blues. Mode.